Hey everyone, have I here bring a video on Dragon Ball Z Dokkan Battle. In this video, I just have to say it. I was wrong. So with that, if you're new to my channel, like, subscribe, comment below, do all that good stuff. Let's go ahead and dive into this mess here. So I did a tweet, when the new LRs came out, right? LR Carnival Future Gohan. I was like, oh, okay, well, if they're going to have a Future Gohan as the Carnival LR, that means that there's going to be two EZAs for part 3. It's going to be the Dokkan Festival exclusive Goku Black and then possibly a LR Rose. That's what I was expecting. And I was like, hey, you know what? That's a W in my book because you don't have to summon for a new unit and you can save those Dragon Stones for something in the future. And these units are going to be good enough to go ahead and run on the main rotation on the Infinite Zamasu team and all that good stuff, right? That was my thought. I was like, okay, this is actually going to be a good thing because they did so well for the AGL Zamasu, right? As long as this was being able to use in the main rotation, the team was going to be strong. And if they did the same thing to Goku Black, I'm like, oh, this is going to be fantastic. However, I did make a statement afterwards. This individual here, Dame with 71, said, and if it doesn't, right? I said, hey, well, then burn it all down. The vitriol will be justified. And I was like, when you think about it, because they didn't have a Carnival Rose, the part 3 has to have 2 EZAs. And at least the jury's out on that. If we're going to get a kind of a random, what I'm expecting is a yellow coin Extreme Z LR banner. We don't have a yellow coin banner, and I have a bunch of yellow coins that I need to spend, or I want to spend. But we did have the Carnival banners, right? So if we have that in EX or kind of the end of part 3, we might have the LR Rose. But with what they did with the Goku Black Dokkan Festival exclusive unit, I don't know if I even want to see what they're going to do to the Rose, right? So yes, burn it all down. The vitriol is justified. Have at it because they absolutely fumbled this. I think the community was very, very excited to see what they were going to do with Goku Black because of the AGL Zamasu and how amazing that was. So let's dive into why people are so upset, why people are like myself, like just disappointed in them regressing when it comes to the EZA, what we kind of expect, what we wanted to expect, right? So just dive into all this leader skill. Time Travelers, we already knew that it's going to be bumping to 170. Extreme Int, it's going to be a 120 lead. Well, at least this unit can be run on Battlefield as a 120 leader for Extreme Int type teams if you're still running mono teams on Battlefield here. And the super attack here, this was one of the things that, I would say, I was like, you can't really mess this up, right? You can't mess this up because this unit has greatly raises defense. And greatly raises defense, you're looking at Tech Ultimate Gohan. You have these individuals that are just getting 50% boost on defense. The Spirit Bomb Z unit, right? Those units are like, okay, great. It's going to stack 50% each super attack on there. That's pretty awesome. Well, they did add lowers attack, which is beneficial for Super Battle Road and things of that nature. But the passive, what they did with the passive was just not enough. And one of the key things here was in the beginning, if you look at this unit pre-EZA, it's definitely unplayable. But even much more here, you only get a boost of Ki plus 2 attack and defense 80%. The reason why that is just way too low for this unit here, yeah, you're going to boost up after a couple turns, is the stats in of itself isn't all that high for an EZA, right? Generally, we can get above 20,000 in attack, our defense maybe 12, 13,000 in some cases, right? The stats overly isn't, those aren't really impressive numbers. So coming off of at least the defensive stat being fairly low, around 11,000, and only having attack and defense 80% to start off with, you have units right now that are getting criticized for only just even having 150%, or I won't say 160 or 200% is getting too criticized, but still it's a lot higher than 80%. So that's already much too low to start off with. Now, again, you can see that it does increase 40% up to 120%, and then defense up to 60% with each start of each turn, right? That doesn't really help, all right? Especially with in-game content. That's tough. You have to wait each turn for that to happen. And it would have been nice for it to just be both 40% for 120%, right? That would have been much, much better. On top of that, you do have your crit chance increase from 5 to 10%, which kind of expected there, up to 40%. Okay, great. It's already on there, so they're not going to change that. So the thing they added to this unit, right? Because they always, add something special or something beneficial on here. They said, you know what? To make this unit more usable in today's game, we're going to add launches 2 additional attacks with a high chance of becoming a super attack. That would have been fine, but it's when there's a super class enemy that just makes this unit it's just pretty rough because end game right now, you're looking at red zone, right? So this unit becomes a god in legendary Goku and Vegeta events, right? The fighting legend events there. Must have and must run on those fights. But you can't even run this fight, this unit very much on like the Vegeta Blue stage, because the initial stat is way too low. 80% is just, again, not good enough. Here's the thing: easy, they could have fixed this, right? Could have said, hey, first 2 turns or 3 turns, guard or damage mitigation, something of that nature, is to start building up, right? They could have easily done that. Or just remove the when there's a super class enemy, right? Still would have been very tough, but you could have run them in a floater position or a second position, get those greatly raises defense boosting higher and higher and higher and higher, and you having a high chance of doing so on there, and you have the potential system. There's that possibility of actually getting enough defense so that you don't get just absolutely destroyed in these certain red zone stages, especially the ones that are shorter, right? Transformation condition. Now, this could change. We don't have the information on this yet. So this is a non-active skill transformation. This is a transformation condition that will just happen if your HP is 80% or above starting from the 6th turn of the battle. Now, the reason why I'm not looking optimistic about that is because you see attack and defense up to 60% and then up to 120%. At the start of each turn. Well, that's 6 turns, right? Because that's 3 times this unit shows up, and then by the 6th turn, then you'll be maxed out. Again, this is tough here. This is tough. So anyway, Link skills are pretty good. Cold Judgment, Fear and Faith, Nightmare, Prepare for Battle, Dismal Future, Big Bad Boss's First Battle. There's a lot of categories. This doesn't really matter too much because you're generally not going to run this unit on many other categories. Realm of Gods, Patara, Future Saga, Transformation Boost, Time Travelers, Kamehameha, Human Deeds, Corroded Body of Mind, Accelerated Battle, Worldwide Chaos, Power Beyond Super Saiyan, Power Wishes. So yeah. Now again, there is a transformation. You're like, okay, well, once he transforms, he's going to be incredible. He's going to be OP. He can't be killed. Things of that nature. Nope, that's not the case. What happens is the attack does get increased. The super attack, you do a lower attack and defense. At this point in time, doesn't matter after 6 turns. Again, assuming that we're still in the 6th turn, which kind of going back over here, yeah, attack up to 120%. That's 3 times you show up at the start of each turn, right? And I'm guessing that's the start of each turn. Is it the start of? Okay, let me actually take this back. Is that the start of each turn, any turn? Or is that a start of each turn that he shows up? So this could be end up actually after 3 turns you might be able to transform. That might be a little bit better, but still, it does have a lot of issues here. I'm just thinking out loud right now. Attack and defense 250%, 150% flat out, and then you have a chance of critical hit 50%, and then you have plus additional 10% attack with each attack performed. And then extreme class allies, key plus 3, 30% to attack. How do you support without defense now? Like, just throw defense in on there. Attack and defense, 30% would have been great. And then launches an additional attack and has a high chance of becoming super attack when there's a super class enemy. So you go from 1 attack, or 2 attacks to 1 attack, which is kind of strange. I think just overall, it's just like, what were they thinking, right? If they easied this 2 years ago, it would have been actually pretty good. Like, really good. with the greatly raises defense, attack, you know, and all this stuff, right? 250% attack after 6 turns. Yeah, fine. But you can see why everybody's pretty upset about this EZA. It's not a runnable unit in the main rotation for the Infinite Zamasu team, and that's really what we're looking for, is another unit, or it could have been a support unit, and I think people would have been good on that, because having a Goku Black support unit would be fantastic as well. Link skills do change. Super Saiyan Kamehameha does replace Cold Judgment, Fear and Faith, which is actually bad for the defensive side of things. And then categories stay the same. Of course, stats stay the same. Yeah. So this is why everyone's pretty upset about this whole thing. This is nowhere near the EZA of AGL Zamasu. That is clearly a superior EZA. And again, not sure what they were thinking. A couple of things they could have just changed, right? They could have just added a 1 in front of the attack and defense at 80%, 180 to start off with. Okay, now you're talking, right? Or they remove the where there's a superclass enemy. Anyway, we're hoping, last final chance for a Goku Black or Rose standalone unit to be good to run on the Infinite Zamasu team, which right now you really can't run anybody. Maybe you can run the strength one as a support, but in red zone that's going to be a detriment there. But yeah, there is a possibility, so we'll hope for that. Stay hopeful. Right? I'll even bring this up right here. Here we go. We'll stay hopeful. And again, I was wrong. They should have just, if they were planning on doing this, they should have came out with a Carnival Rose or Goku Black if that was the plan. Anyway, boys and girls, if you are new to my channel, like, subscribe, comment below, do all that good stuff. Wow. Makes me sad, boys and girls. Keep on Dokkaning for those who are still Dokkaning. We'll catch you next time. Later.